Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a deep dive on a word you have absolutely heard a million times, but maybe haven't stopped to truly unpack. Our mission today is to totally deconstruct Merriam-Webster's 2023 word of the year, which is authentic. We're going to uncover exactly why this one specific word matters so much right now and how it's secretly shaping everything from linguistics to the way we live our daily lives. So, set the scene. It's November 2023. Now, authentic isn't exactly some trendy news slang term, right? It's a very established, everyday adjective, and yet out of nowhere, it experienced a massive, completely unprecedented spike in global dictionary lookups. People all over the world were actively hunting down its exact definition. And honestly, a spike like that, it's not just a quirky data point, it is a major symptom of a much, much broader shift in our society. Which leads us to a seriously fascinating question. Why did a society that is completely obsessed and saturated with unprecedented technology suddenly go searching for the definition of real? We're surrounded by futuristic tech, but we are desperately, literally hunting for the truth. Well, here is exactly how we're going to solve that mystery today. We'll be walking through 1. The word of the year, 2. Defining the authentic spectrum, 3. The crisis of real, 4. Authenticity in everyday life, and finally, 5. The new leadership standard. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the word of the year. To really get this, you have to think of the root word authentic kind of like a giant tree branching out into vastly different contexts. When it's a noun, like authenticity, it's describing this deep emotional realness or an artistic truth, like when you praise a novel for its emotional authenticity. If we use it as an adverb, authentically, well, that's about performing an action in a genuine way, totally unbothered by what other people think. But then it can completely morph into a strict verb, like authenticate, where you're verifying a user's identity online, or even into a super rigid official procedure, like authentication, such as an expert proving an antique's exact value. It's the exact same root word, but it stretches all the way from deeply personal emotions to completely rigid procedures. Okay, let's move right along to Section 2, defining the authentic spectrum. Authenticity actually operates across 4 very distinct dimensions. Think of it like a matrix. Internally, honest internally, means living true to your own personal values. An example would be someone leaving a cozy corporate job to make music because it just feels true to who they are. Then you have honest externally, which is about appearing genuinely real to an outside observer, like an actor delivering a completely believable portrayal of a historical figure. Now, over on the external side of things, matching a source ensures that intangible ideas stay strictly faithful to their roots. Think of a Chicago-style pizza made with the exact original sauce recipe. And finally, not fake. That one ensures tangible, physical items are original. It's why you buy from an official store, so you don't end up with a counterfeit imitation. And what's really cool is that this concept also lives on a massive linguistic spectrum. Up on the highly formal, even legal end, you've got synonyms like genuine, actual, or legitimate, which you'd use for signatures or serious business facts. But as you slide down that scale into everyday casual usage, it turns into fun idioms like the real deal or the real McCoy. And it goes all the way down to everyday slang where we just call something legit. To show you just how incredibly far-reaching this is, check this out. In modern Japanese business, calling someone's proposal authentic is increasingly used as a massive compliment. It basically indicates reliability and originality. So the big takeaway here? Authentic isn't just about warm, fuzzy personal feelings. It carries massive, highly tangible professional weight across international borders. Which brings us to Section 3, the crisis of real. Right at the very core of our culture right now is this intense hunger for truth. Our ability as a society to just figure out what is true is absolutely plummeting. And why is that happening? Well, we are literally being crushed under immense pressure from 2 massive opposing forces. As synthetic information hits all-time highs, verifiable reality, authenticity, has suddenly become our ultimate scarce resource. Let's break down those 2 opposing forces that are crushing us. On one side, you have the curated facade. This is all that highly manicured personal branding, corporate posturing, and those heavily filtered lifestyles we see everywhere. Then, on the other side, you have the generative blur. This is the explosion of AI, ChatGPT, deepfakes, all that synthetic media. It has basically dissolved the visual and textual boundaries between human and machine. So think about it. When your daily life is squeezed between a perfectly filtered human facade on one side and a terrifyingly realistic machine blur on the other, It makes complete sense why everybody's frantically hitting the dictionary to search for what is real. All right, section 4, authenticity in everyday life. So, who is actually winning in this environment? The individuals and organizations coming out on top today are doing it strictly through authenticity. Let's do a rapid-fire breakdown. Take Taylor Swift. She leverages the authentic self. She's forged this unparalleled fan loyalty simply by transparently channeling raw personal experiences and emotional vulnerability right into her music. Then look at a brand like Duolingo. They totally mastered the authentic voice. They abandoned those safe, boring corporate guidelines on TikTok and went all in on chaotic, meme-fluent humor that feels genuinely native to the platform. And in entertainment, look at the show Shogun. They delivered the authentic portrayal by eradicating outdated Hollywood stereotypes, focusing on deeply researched, culturally accurate storytelling. Their reward? A historic 18 Emmy wins. Authenticity clearly pays off. And this craving for the real is even shifting our physical spaces. Take the bar experience, for example. Contrast a loud, fast-paced shot bar with what's known as the authentic bar. An authentic bar revolves entirely around quiet conversation, low lighting, and traditional values. The bartender isn't just slamming down drinks, they're a highly trained professional with deep, specialized knowledge of single malt whiskeys and classic mixology. We are actively going out of our way to seek out environments that respect tradition and craftsmanship. We're seeing this exact same craving show up in personal style and architecture too. True, authentic fashion firmly rejects those exhausting, fleeting microtrends. Instead, it centers on traditional, universally recognized staples that actually endure the test of time, like a classic 1966 canvas sneaker or a tailored three-piece suit. And in architecture, authentic facades use high-quality, real materials like natural stone and genuine brick. These materials don't just rot away, they actually gain character over time. They project this heavy, stable sense of quiet dignity that you just cannot fake. Finally, Section 5, the new leadership standard. Make no mistake, the era of the infallible, top-down commanding boss, that is fading fast. Modern business now demands authentic leadership. This is a super powerful framework popularized by former Medtronic CEO Bill George, and it relies on 5 distinct pillars: passion for purpose, values-based action, leading with heart, building relationships, and self-management. Now notice how everything on this framework stems outward from core values. This is a huge shift. In the past, showing vulnerability was basically seen as a major weakness for a leader. But today, leading with heart and transparently admitting your weaknesses are recognized as incredible strengths. It builds deep, continuous trust with your team. It's all about having the self-discipline to stay true to your inner compass and making really tough decisions rooted in your personal ethics, no matter what external pressures are breathing down your neck. So to really lock this paradigm shift in, we have to put the old standard right next to the new one. The old standard was entirely about building an image. You focused on perfecting a manufactured facade, pretending you were infallible and generating hype just to meet outside expectations. But the new standard, the authentic standard, is all about being true to your core. The focus here is on radical transparency, unwavering adherence to your internal values, and honestly, just having the sheer courage to show an unpolished reality. Which brings us to this final incredibly powerful takeaway. In a digital era where absolutely anything, text, images, voices, and brands can be artificially generated or faked, authenticity is no longer just a word. It is the ultimate premium. And that is exactly why that massive spike in dictionary lookups happened. We are all just trying to navigate the blur. So as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. In an increasingly synthetic and highly curated world, how are you projecting your own unpolished reality? Thanks so much for learning with us today, and keep seeking out the authentic.